Don't complicate these things. Don't complicate these things.
All right, guys, what is going on? Welcome. It is Tuesday. Taco Tuesday for some, and maybe not for others. I don't know. But yeah, dude, it's been an interesting day. Very interesting, a little bit tricky, in my opinion. Not impossible, but a little shaky. So we'll go over a few things. Pretty sure my AC went out, so I'm probably gonna die from heat. So maybe this will probably be the last lesson I ever do. So hopefully it's a good one. What's good? Jordan D, Sean, Natasha, Willow, Naruto, Roman, Capitalist, Felix, Grauberg, Edgar, Beverly, Marshall, Smalley, FXTR, hello. I'm in Wyoming with mine out, and that blows. Yep. Might just go, I don't know, find a freezer to jump in. Might just jump in my neighbor's freezer, be like, hey, what up? Don't mind me. Just gonna be hanging out here next to the frozen peas. Yeah. So carry on. Anyway, there was some 1 minute lows. I was looking for that to get ran. During lunch, I thought near the beginning of lunch we would do that. We ended up going higher first, obviously. 10:45 launched us higher, and then beginning of lunch, we spent a little bit of time at this imbalance here. And I don't trade during lunch. I wish I would have traded this. I watched it and I let it go, but it's okay. We trade lower towards the lows, especially the equal lows or the low resistance lows on the 1 minute here, right? So when we trade lower, we don't respect this imbalance at all. We create this imbalance on the way there. So that's why I was watching that. I'm like, yeah, that's a short. Then we don't do shit for a while. I'm like, well, let's see. And then we just sink in 15 minutes right down there. Beautiful. So a little bit of, you know, I guess out of sync might be the better terminology for it. Like things that I'm looking for that I'm expecting, they aren't happening right away. So to me, that's like, all right, you're missing something, and I don't know what it is. So if you're off, don't stay off. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to keep fucking forcing setups and all that kind of shit. And I feel like that's kind of a day like that where it's an easy way to go on tilt, if that makes sense. Was good, Jonas, Eberneth, Ramita. So if we go to a 1 minute, I did share this earlier. Actually, we need to zoom out just a little bit. So one of you posted, I don't remember who it was. One of you pointed out in the Discord a little bit earlier today that ES and NQ did not do the same thing. Right? I want to say that was London's high. I could be wrong. But either way, this high, right, is taken on ES. That high is not taken on Nasdaq, which is not a surprise because, oh, this is out of whack. That looks a lot better. Something was off about the chart. I finally figured out what it was. We failed, right, to trade above that high, 18,931, right? When ES did, that's a signature of manipulation, right? ES trading above an old high, NQ not doing it. So I guess you could say weakness on the side of Nasdaq for it not trading above that high. But what is it trading near though? Well, you got the levels on here already. You got a daily gap high and a daily gap low, and you guys already know what to do. Okay, whenever we have like a large imbalance or a large gap, we cut it in half, right? So it's trading right around that 50% of the daily gap. See that? Right here. There it is. So when it fails to make a higher high and we sink at 901, right? So like 9 o'clock, 901, it drops suddenly. A little bit to the left, you have this imbalance here that was respected, then disrespected. And you guys already know, or majority of you should know, that is, in my opinion, if I'm going to trade an inversion like this, an inverted imbalance like that, the best ones, in my opinion, are the ones that are previously respected, right? And that was it right there. And that is inside of this 1 minute imbalance here, which is in a premium because we're in a daily gap. We already saw signature of weakness and we saw that run up during equities. So if we measure from this low up to that high, that's obviously a premium, right? And we dumped since then massively. So huge sell-off. We trade higher. Again, this was that 15-minute imbalance. And we left behind equal lows. So I don't trust equal lows to be left open forever. They can be. On 1 minute time frame, sometimes not so much. And so again, that's why I was watching this during lunch for a little bit. I mean, I went to read for a little bit and stuff, but that's what I was looking for. I'm like, okay, yeah, we sold off. Now we're going to run those lows. And then we kind of dilly-dally for a little bit. That's a classic signature of lunch anyway. That's usually why I don't like trading. It doesn't scream your direction. It likes to chill out. And that's Saturday evening's cool for that. Sunday evening's cool for that. But when you're in a trade, that's not what you want. But again, we do get down there. So what we do from here, man, honestly, I have no idea. I really have no clue. ES making lower lows on the day, right? We had triple lows here and then we made another one. So just more lows for ES. If I was, I guess, looking to scalp, if you think this is manipulation and if you think this is accumulation for NQ, I mean, there's, 56.22, some low resistant highs, and then this is our lunch high, and above that is that sell-off from this morning that Nasdaq traded back into, but ES did not. See this right here? That was never traded into on the 15-minute time frame. You see this shit? This 910, like no wicks right here, like that kind of shit. We never went back into that. We never went there. So, hey, if we're going to reverse, maybe. I don't have a super strong opinion here for longs. So we can wait and see. We can watch it. This low just doesn't seem. I just don't think that's it, bro. Something about it. It just doesn't look good. See this shit? Like that no wick right here. I like when I see highs of day, low of day, stuff like that. The high or low of the day almost never does this. Like just lack of wick, right? So to me, it just, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we go higher. It's a possibility. Okay. I told you I feel like I'm a little bit out of sync with today's price action, so I would not be surprised if I was wrong. Was good, George and Ricky and Carlos. Man, it's only getting hotter, dude. Fuck. It's getting pretty bad. I might just take my drink and dump it on myself. Anyway, someone brought up the dollar. We'll go take a look at that. The dollar is dirt. Okay. The dollar is absolute dirt. So it's hard to trust that the low's been set. Daily time frame, this is terribly, terribly weak. And I've been talking about that the last couple of weeks. So if you remember, if you've been here, if you've been paying attention, if you've been watching and learning, and if you actually marked up your charts the way that I do and the things that I tell you, on August the 8th, I told you afterwards that because we didn't trade halfway, that was a signature of weakness. We've ripped ass the last like 2 weeks. So I didn't tell you I think that was going to happen. I didn't say, oh yeah, 101, 102. I never said that. I just said that's a signature of weakness. And we've ripped terribly. So I don't think the low has been set. Okay. Now with that, of course, going through the currencies today, I was watching a few things. And I did like shorts on Australian dollar, but I didn't take it. This was also 11 to 12. So lunch for me, I just don't trade anything. So especially not indices, but not currencies either. So the only real thing that is going for Australian dollar, in my opinion, and this isn't enough, right, is these lows. Okay, so low resistant lows, we trade higher, retracement, we trade higher, retracement, trade higher, all the way to 67.47. We pull it back, imbalance here, and we're a little bit lower. But again, that's not enough. I think if the dollar was bullish, which I don't think it is, and then New Zealand, right, same thing. It's launching higher. No real downside objective in the same way that Aussie does. So what am I going to do with that? Nothing. British pound. I think I was watching some small time frame lows, but I think this ended up being, this was something. I had marked it up earlier. Wednesday, July 17th, that high was taken. For the euro, it didn't reach anything immediate, and the next available high is at 111.30 or 40. So, you know, again, what am I going to do with that? So things are just a little bit mixed, and that's that. I don't really, not ideal conditions for day trading, in my opinion. Carlos is long on both. Hey, if you're up, you're up. I was looking for shorts. So, you know, but it is what it is, man. A winning trade's a winning trade. What's good, John? What's good, Edgar? So I'm trying to think. We can take a brief look at the metals. You remember what we spoke about the other day? I know I'm always referencing like old shit, but it's just because the markets repeat themselves, and so do I. Remember I told you that gold was the most manipulated asset that there is, in my opinion. I said prove it, otherwise I'll listen. You guys remember that, don't you? I would hope so. So give me a second here, because this is going to take a hot minute to mark this up. All right. So look at this chart, okay? And again, this is gold 5-minute time frame. Do I even need to explain myself here? Do I even need to tell you, like, I told you so? Look how many lows and highs get taken, especially these highs, right? Short-term highs, sweat, back in the range. Leave lows. High, down to the lows. Sweep that high. Don't make a new low, but make low resistant lows. Then comes up for that high. So we have like 7 higher highs, and then we take these lows and these lows from back here. Then we trade all the way back up. Back down. One more high. Right? Or lower high. Retracement, and then that manipulation before ultimately going lower for the day. So that is not an impossible market to trade, but it makes things difficult, you know? That makes things very difficult unless you're really like playing super small time frame retracements or just straight up shorting above old highs. This probably would have slapped you around. So silver, same thing. Lower lows and then higher highs. That's disgusting. But then we eventually make a retracement, and then we, it gets sent lower on the day. So metals lower, dollar index is lower as well. Indices are lower. Like everything's lower except currency. Why look for shorts in a bullish market? Well, sometimes, Carlos, sometimes I become the goober. So, I try not to be. I tell you guys not to be. But hey, sometimes sometimes I get it wrong, big fella. So there's nothing more to say with that. As far as Dow goes, this is horrendous to me. I did like shorts to go lower to catch up with the other indices, but when we did all of this back and forth on a 5-minute time frame, I don't like, I look for entries and I'm like, where the fuck, like, where am I supposed to enter on that? So in hindsight, obviously there's a gap right here, there's a lack of wick right there, but you know, I'm not looking at that like I'm mad at myself. I'm looking at that like that is such a bitch, you know, to do that. One thing that gave that away too was the regular trading hours. Okay, so don't forget these ideas. Monday, August 19th, that was yesterday. That low is there. And then this morning, near the equities open, we don't take that low and we trade higher instead. So we end up having almost equal lows here. Right? So that's what that level is. That's why this low, if you can see that, that's why that low is drawn and not this one, because that's the lower one. And that doesn't make sense if you go to an electronic side and you don't see it. You're like, oh, what the fuck is that level? Right there. That's it. But when you switch it from electronic to regular, it cuts out all of London and Asia and all that shit, and then just puts them right together. So it's easy to see what price is going to magnet to. Because if you think about it, ES sold off at 9.15. Nasdaq sold off at 9.15. 9.15. Where the fuck is that? That's like right here. Dow goes higher at like 9.30. It goes higher instead. So completely opposed to what the other two are doing. Literally, it's opposite. Right? And so runs up, takes some trailing stops, drops lower, then gives you that last retracement before catching up to the, well, if the other two are lower and Dow's higher, the Dow's going to catch up to go lower, if that makes sense, to get in sync with what the other indices are doing, at least in the short term, because now it's all fucked up again. So, you know, we have, again, a lower ES, higher Dow, and a dog shit NQ. So I don't we do have technically a higher low, but I don't trust that that low's been set. So ES, if I was forced to do something, I'd probably long ES. Am I going to take ES longs on a live account right now? No, fuck no. No, not going to do it. But I tell you what, we can watch it for a little bit, give you some commentary, but don't expect some ninja crazy shit from me, okay? I don't like it. I don't like the Nasdaq doing that weird shit. If this is a stop run, there's an imbalance prior to it. We traded right through that. Bodies are respecting it. It looks decent to go higher. But don't take a trade because I said something. Okay? Don't do that. But I at least want to be able to give you something to watch, something to look for today. But I'm coming out the gate saying it doesn't look good for me. Like, I'm not super confident in that. Okay, so fair warning. And yeah, Jordan, gold, NYM, and well, a lot of things are taking stops today. A lot of things are. They're the market seeks liquidity, man. So That is what it's doing today for sure. Drop a like if you don't mind. If you guys don't mind, we got 64, 62 viewers. Let's see if we can get at least 20 or 30 likes. I would greatly appreciate that. I would greatly appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, look at that. That 15-minute candle, that looks like manipulation. Which, again, if it is 12:15, we could start looking for longs. And 12:15 is right here. Right there. And trades down to the lower end of this inversion here, and then it also taps into this bullish one here as well. So there's a little bit of an overlap there between those price points and the old low. That's some pretty heavy confluence, but I can tell you right now, if I longed either one of those, I'd probably be break even. Very early, I'd probably be break even. If this is gonna run higher, I would not want to see us bullshit around. And I feel like bullshitting around is a likely possibility. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's a good point, Ricky. I did not even mark up New York. The equities. Is that here? Yeah. So, but you got to remember too, the whole premise of buying below the open or shorting above the open, right, is if you want it to be high probability, then it's highly dependent upon what the day is supposed to do. So if you think today is going to be an up day, meaning like we should close higher on a daily time frame, then we would look for it to trade below equities, look for longs or whatever to go higher. But today, that's not the case. We've been let's go to the daily time frame for just a second, and then we'll come back to the small time frames. We have printed up candles every day since the 8th, right? So Thursday, Friday, the following Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all up close days. And then even yesterday was an up close day. So it's only going to up close so many times in a row before it's going to, if it were to close right now, which we still have 2.5 hours left on the equities market. But if we close right now, as an example, this would be a down day, right? So to me, this is not a buying below the open kind of day. Today was shorting above the open to go lower, right? Look at the predominant focus for today. We ran higher first, grabbed liquidity. NQ couldn't do it. That was weakness. And then we saw the inverted imbalance on NQ. ES couldn't even trade into this imbalance. It was I guess too weak. I mean, I don't know. It didn't do that. And it's ripped ass, right? Rip ass. Retracement during lunch. We sink heading into the PM session. So if today is to be a down close day, now we can come back down here. If today is going to be a, supposed down close day, then I think looking for longs would not be advantageous. It would be disadvantageous. On top of the low that I don't trust. I don't trust this. If we go higher, we go higher. But I don't trust that. Okay? So that is my thought process so far today for the PM session. So yeah, I don't like it. But we'll watch it and we'll see. We will see. What other questions you guys have or are looking at? I think one of you mentioned GJ. You know what? That's actually a good point. The yen. The yen has some weird shit going on. Not really, but there's some, I think it's either lows or highs. Because I was flip-flopping between yen futures and USD JPY. And they're opposite. I don't remember which one has the lows or highs, but one of them does. So it's like this even, crisp, clean level of liquidity. So, oh, you know what? CAD does too, Canadian dollar futures. So we'll take a look at that. But I do want to give this a few minutes just to see if I'm right or wrong on what we're going to do here with the indices, you know, from these levels here. The last 4-hour candle of the day. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's 12:30, right? So we're a little bit into the PM session. I would be curious where the final hour starts, like where we are going to be at in price action by the time 2 o'clock comes by. So like another hour and a half, a little bit less. So the start of the final hour, I want to see where we're at. Because if we're going to attack trailing liquidity, this would be such an easy target. But I feel like we're not ready to do that. We as in the market, not like you and I. I don't think the market's ready to do that. So you see how we traded in here twice, we rallied, and then we're back in here a third time. I never like the third time around. Same thing with this imbalance here. Once, twice, now we're in there 3 times. That's usually not what you want to see. Me personally. Okay? And it's another lower low on ES. So this might still be pretty weak. And I haven't even looked at SPY on the stream. When you trade futures, do you also use the non-future? You mean the ETFs? Yes. That's almost what you're doing when you swap from ETH to RTH. Right? So in the regular trading hours, you're going to have gaps and stuff. Right? Yeah. You'll have shit like this, which is helpful. I think I went through that yesterday or Friday of last week. I think I went through that and showed you guys the Nasdaq, how it traded to the lower end, right? Because there's no sell side or buy side delivery. We get buy side delivery here, and then we get sell side delivery, so that way we can, you know, balance, rebalance price or whatever, and then go higher. And that's stuff like that's important to know. But that's basically what you're doing when you swap from regular to electronic. So at this point, once that traded through that, I wouldn't bother with that. It gave a reaction a little bit. It gave that up easily. So I didn't take this long, but I wonder why it doesn't work out. We have a target, we have a divergence, and we react from a 1 hour imbalance. Do I get something wrong? No, I don't think you got anything wrong. Like I said, I don't trust the low on Nasdaq. And remember, we still have, like, what the fuck is the math? 142. We still have 2 hours and 20 minutes left on the day. And that's a lot of 1 minute and 5 minute candles. So there still could be, you know, we could still make a new low of day on Nasdaq, is what I'm saying. The way we made the low, I just don't like it. ES, that's a different story. Okay. ES, that 15 minute, we need electronic. As I explained earlier, that 15-minute candle, that looks like manipulation. That looks like a stop run. We traded, you know, lower. I don't know, it's like 5 points or something below this low. All right, not a big deal. And then we came off of that and closed right at the beginning of the PM session. So that's why I said earlier at 12:15, we can start looking for longs, you know, based on the NCE next candle entry. And then at 12:16, that's when it dips into this bullish imbalance here. Dips into that again. Does it a third time here, which I don't like. Okay? I don't like that. Something like this here, if I would have traded that earlier and we make a new high, I told you, I said I would be break even. Probably plus like 1 or 2 ticks. 1 point or 2 ticks is what I mean. And then this would have like broke me out, break even. And I said, okay, well, that's fine. So this almost looks like a second leg to go higher. Right? Take liquidity. That looks like it crossed 50%. Discount, launch. That's what it looks like. Let me see one thing. Yeah. I still want to give this a few minutes to see. And yeah, Jonas. Oh man. I'm getting tired, chat. This is so hot, dude. That heat will wear you down. 19,880 something area for Nasdaq. Well, here's how I think of it. It very similar with ES. I'm sorry, this is NQ. Think about this. Where price is at right now, okay? If we were to look left, directly left, okay? Matter of fact, we're just going to take everything off. Think about Who's in open profit currently on the day? Shorts. Anyone who was short from up here, anyone who was short during lunch, anyone who's trying to short right now, right? So think about it. The morning traders that are like shorting these small retracements or shorting on the way lower, they're going to have stops up here, way the fuck up here. Market comes back again. I think there was a 15-minute right here, and then we trade lower, right? So then where do the stops get trailed to? This high. Market trades lower here, you know, so there's going to be there's going to be stops at every level. And with these right here, those are low resistance highs right there. So the easiest available target as a run on trailing stops is going to be 19,822. So that's probably likely. Again, if we're going to trade higher, then that could be likely. We failed to make a lower low here. So if that's accumulation, fine. Next candle entry on the 15-minute, same way like with ES, okay? You have this imbalance here. We traded into that. I think it hit that down candle too. So if I'm wrong in the assumption that we're going to make a new low on the day, if I'm wrong on that, then it's going to trade higher. So thus we should see expansion for both ES and NQ. So did you guys get that? Did you guys how I got to that conclusion? Who's in profit on the day? Anybody who is still holding shorts. I mean, it's not like a massive down day. I mean, it's not like a, you know, the markets aren't crashing. I mean, they're down like a whopping 0.24%. Like, it's nothing crazy, right? I mean, ES has had a range of like 30 points on the day, I think. Yeah, 33. I mean, that's not a lot. That's not a big ass range. On a 1 minute time frame, yeah, that looks like a big range, but it's only 30 points. It's not too big of a deal. But somebody's short still. And guess what? That's a resistance zone, right? Resistance. Good old resistance zones. We like that, right? So if we're going to expand, we should see higher pricing. Or excuse me, if we're going to see higher pricing, we should see expansion higher. I'm just marking out this down candle that we're reactive from here. If that's a stop run, that might be a mitigation here, like a mitigation play. So we'll see. We'll have to give it some time, chat. We'll have to give it some time. The goobers are shorting. Oh, shit. If the goobers are shorting, I'm going fucking full margin on the long side, baby. Full margin on the long side. Take out your credit cards, max them bitches out, and fucking long that shit. Not financial advice. Don't do that. All right? Don't do that. Don't do that shit. We did have some fun one time. I told somebody to put the house on it. That shit fucking mooned too. That was so fun. I think it was Chad or someone. I can't remember. But yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. We were like, put the farm on it. But Dennis, that's right. Where is Dennis? It's been a minute. Somebody find Dennis. Somebody go get Dennis. God, it's hot in here, dude. I can't even fucking think straight. Literally, I can't even think straight, bro. Just watching this, because Normally I like to see expansion and then a run into the mitigation, but this is more like an immediate return. You see that? Like we traded through that up candle here and then back into it right there. So I'm just watching to see if that's what we end up expanding on, if we're going to see expansion. Oh man, did we make Dennis homeless, bro? Fuck. We're gonna have to get him funded, dude. Get him out that cardboard box. Get him out the cardboard box. Yeah, George. Who is Margin and why is she calling? Oh, you know, it's not what it looks like. It's not what you think it is. Yeah. It goes with the manipulation from New York. ES took the highs and NQ, I think you meant to say, did not, and now they're done. They've done the vice versa in the second half. Jordan, got your eyes on any stocks? Stocks. Not really. Still holding JP Morgan, Netflix, and Tesla. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. On a 1 minute time frame, there's a small imbalance right there too. For the NQ side. Right up there. So we'll see. But remember this gray box up here. Remember I told you ES did not trade into that the same way that NQ did. So if ES wants to moon, if it wants to straight, you know, launch 630s, 632, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's only like 10, 12 points away. But we shall watch it. Ooh, 1246. Yeah. We'll give it some more time, chat. We'll give it some more time. Yeah, USD CAD, I think, is a... I don't remember. There's either lows or highs or something that I think it could easily aim for. We'll give this a... We'll come back to this, because I did want to mention that to you. Both, actually. Okay. This probably is going to happen today. This looks like ass, but what I was wanting earlier was these lows here. So I think what I wanted earlier was for us to trade lower, grab these lows, and then run up to these highs. That's what I wanted. Oh, shit. Yeah. So we haven't done that. It's done not a lot. So I'm not going to do anything with that. But I do think that's an easy upside target. And then same thing with the yen. Okay. It has, well, USD JPY. It has shown no real strength anywhere in here. But 146.55, that's like triple highs, very clean. So I won't trust that here. I would trust that once we get a little bit closer to it. It's kind of far off right now, because we might even have yesterday's low it might want to reach for. But yeah, those are kind of some of the ideas that I got on the side right now. Some side pieces, if you will. Some of those side pieces. Okay. What funded accounts trade ESU? Let's see. Top Step, I'm pretty sure. And whoever else does futures. So if it's like legit futures, not like CFDs. But ESU is the current ES contract. And there you have it. Would that second run to the bullish imbalance be a good re-entering the market when you get stopped out? That second run would have made me think twice. I'm not sure. Are you talking about what's on my chart? Like right here or right here? I'm not sure which one, like what you're referring to. Did you get stopped out on this run? And then you're saying re-enter here or re-enter here? $19,760 back above 19,860 above daily open to cover the position on CFDs and walk away. No, I agree, Ricky. And like I said, I'm going to stick to the idea that Nasdaq lows are suspect. But if I am wrong, and obviously at this point it looks like that, then we should expand higher. And that, again, that's just based on trailing stops, right? Low resistant highs, consolidation, manipulation, and this is obviously already crossed 50%. And that's why I said this almost looks like a second leg or second stage to go higher. That's what it's beginning to look like. See, if this would have finessed, that's a good imbalance right there. And obviously that's hindsight. I think I told you a little bit about that a little bit afterwards. But there's another one here. And that seems like a decent trade, right? To long that to go up. But again, it didn't show manipulation. It showed accumulation instead, which ideally technically is better. But time will tell. Time will tell. So we haven't done a whole lot other than that manipulation and the move here. We haven't seen too much expansion just yet. I mean, it's only been like an hour, maybe a little less, but that's probably what I would watch. Both of the things I just gave you. So 56.22.5, maybe the 56.30s for ES, and then whatever high that was on NQ. I don't remember the price level. If I measure ES from the highs to the lowest low, we came back above fair value again. Maybe that's first sign for bullish conditions. It's a possibility, yeah. From these, like if we measured from that high down to this low, right? Your 50% levels here. we actually crossed that rather quickly. Discount imbalance, even the discount inverted imbalance. But either one of those, my stop would probably go to this low here. In either case. So above 50% here, we trade back into a discount, short-term low taken. Now, you know, this is near like 75% or something. So this is the discount end of the premium. Does that make sense? Like if we split the half in half again, your premium again is here. Right? Buying above 50% of ranges. That is premium. But the lower half is that. Okay? So that's kind of where this mitigation is at. That's where this down candle is at. It's in the discount end of the premium. Based on those highs and this current low of the day, which looks like manipulation. Okay, but I'm not going to leave that on my chart. I'm going to take all that off. So yeah, we'll hop off here. But remember what I told you already. This imbalance, I would watch it. I would just watch it. Okay. ES, same idea. Similar idea. If we're going to trade higher, that's going to be the easiest available target, 56.22.5. Okay. So I need to go figure out what's wrong with the AC, bro. I'm about to call somebody and start crying over the phone like, please help me. Please help me. I'm dying. Fucking sweating, dude. So we might not stream tomorrow. We might. I don't know. You know? If I die, I won't fucking be here. They don't close above New York Stock Exchange open soon on NQ. They come in for the week lows. I think, you know, this is going to be a deciding factor or not. That 5-minute imbalance and this, you know, kind of a decent mitigation level. You know, either we expand for the highs or Nasdaq goes for the lows like I originally thought, where I don't trust the current lows. So that's where our alert levels will go. Okay. We'll put an alert on ES at 56.22.5. We'll also put an alert at 56.29. Well, I mean, I will. You don't have to, but because there is a possibility we could get into the 30s. If I was in on anything in here, if I was in on anything, that down candle, this mitigation, this regular imbalance, this inversion here, anything in here, I would not hold for the 30s. I would get 22.5, maybe like 23 even, and I would get the fuck out of there. I would just take what I could get, you know, wham bam, thank you ma'am, right? Nasdaq, you could put an alert at 19.822.25 and 19.858.5. Okay, so that's what I'll be anticipating. Y'all be good, man. Be blessed. We'll be here same time, same place, most likely tomorrow on the 21st. I will put out tonight's market review tonight. after you know, after everything is done what is needed to do. So be blessed, and I'll see you then.